Hey, it's Michelle
And Natalie.
with Force of Light Entertainment, and we wanted to give you all our quick thoughts on the Batman trailer, or teaser trailer, that was released yesterday at the DC Fandom event that they had. And we did a video. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check out. It was actually a live stream, a short live stream talking about Wonder Woman 1984 and what we thought about that final trailer, which we were very excited for. Spoiler alert on that,
Yes.
if you haven't watched it yet. So I was already kind of riding high because of the Wonder Woman and just so excited. Can't wait to go see that movie. And then, of course, we got, things like the Suicide Squad that look interesting. But then, kind of, for at least for me, the two main events were the beginning of Wonder Woman, and then what were they going to give us with the Batman, with Robert Pattinson, of course, playing Batman, and Matt Reeves being the director. And, they had just started shooting, and Matt Reeves said that they had shot about 25% of the movie when the pandemic hit and they had to shut production down. So I didn't really know what to expect, what we would be able to get from 25% of the movie. So for starters, I was just kind of shocked that we got really, truly a full teaser trailer in the extent that we got it.
They did quite a bit with that 25%.
They did. And I have been just so excited. I have watched this trailer probably 10, 11 times, if we're being very transparent here. It definitely, I've been super excited. In fact, if you are just finding us on YouTube, we have about a 20-minute podcast that we did right as they cast, I believe, Zoe Kravitz and a few other casting that we talked about this movie at a little more length. You can check that out at our anywhere podcasts are available, Force of Light Entertainment. But, I've been super excited about this movie from the get-go, from them casting Robert Pattinson as Batman. And I never watched the Twilight movies, but I just kind
of...
I just looked at him and I was like, he looks like Bruce Wayne.
That's exactly what I thought.
I think this can work. And then I was literally rooting for Zoe Kravitz to get cast as Catwoman, and she got cast as Catwoman. So
such a great pick.
Yes. So she just looks like Catwoman.
She does.
So
she has her essence.
She does. So I was just so excited about all that. So I've been super excited to see what this is going to be like. And Matt Reeves, it's always nice when you listen to someone talk and it's so obvious he has such a clear vision for what he's making and he's super passionate about it. So then he finally gives us this trailer, and I'm going to probably just play it. You won't see it on the screen, but I'll be playing it so I can kind of pause it and talk.
Feel free to watch along.
Yes, but that way I can kind of pause it and talk about things. But just kind of right from the beginning, it gets you with the duct tape sound. And you see, obviously it is the Riddler, who is going to be the main villain, played by, I believe his name is Paul Dano. And, the scene where he has the guy's face duct tape with No More Lies.
Yeah.
That's just so creepy. And that was one of the things I was super looking forward to with this movie, was the fact that Matt Reeves said they were truly going to go back to Batman being the greatest detective in the world, and it truly be a noir type of murder mystery type kind of movie.
I think that's great.
Yes, and right from the get-go, you get that with this creepy kind of murder scene that we're seeing after the murder's taken place, with the Riddler taping this guy. So it right from the get-go, it grabbed me. And then, everything about this, Wright playing Commissioner Gordon, he's a good pick for him. But just the vibe that this trailer sets, and the music pick of picking Nirvana.
Nirvana, kind of a gritty feeling to it already, like with the music pick.
Yes, and them walking in this murder scene, and him reading the Riddler's riddle that he's left clearly for the Batman. And then we get our first shot of Battinson as we call him now. And the suit looks great, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I like that he actually has his makeup for where the black eyes are.
I do too. More realistic.
It is. that would be there. I will say I think they need to spruce him up a little bit as Bruce Wayne, because he, naturally, Pattinson has a great look.
He does.
As far as he just looks like he'd be Bruce Wayne.
Very chiseled face. I was telling Michelle he looks a little different here from when I've usually seen him in the past. But I mean, that could just be. I mean, he is getting older. It might be a little bit of aging, but I'm not sure what, or maybe how they've done his hair in this. I think they've shown this far.
I think it's the way they had his hair. They need to make him look more aristocratic, the way Bruce Wayne is supposed to be, because that is Bruce Wayne. You know, that really is the mask he's wearing. He's parading around like this guy who doesn't care and is rich, and of course he is rich, but he, you know, the act he puts on as Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And then we got our first shot as Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and it looks like they're going to have an altercation where she's breaking in something. And I wonder, I think yes, we know she's going to get her cat suit at some point. So at least at this part in the movie, she's just more in regular clothes, which that's fun. I like that. This movie feels very grounded to me, and that's something that I enjoy.
Me too.
And then Paul Dano's voice speaking is very creepy throughout this movie. Zoe Kravitz. I love this fight scene, and I know people already really like it online.
I was going to say awesome action here.
That's my type of action, like just straight hand-to-hand combat, and then the line that I know got every Batman fan excited about, you know, when they ask who he is, he doesn't say, "I'm Batman," like we're used to. "I'm Vengeance." And I have to say...
because that really is who Batman is and who he's supposed to be and what he represents.
Yes, and I have to say that right from the get-go, Robert Pattinson, his voice, like, it just resonates as Batman. Like, it truly sounds like Batman.
I've said it, and we've said it before, and I'll probably say it again before, you know, and as the movie actually eventually comes out, but I really like him as Batman. Like, I get it. I get why they chose him.
Yes, I totally get it. And I mean, just listen to his voice. We only get it a little bit, but that voice, it's crisp, it's strong. Like, it truly is Batman, because that is the one critique I would give. I love Christian Bale. He's been my favorite thus far. But, you know, his really exaggerated voice was a bit much.
And Christian Bale's an amazing actor.
Oh, totally.
I mean, in other things he's done, you know, but yeah, he did really go for that really deep voice.
Or with Ben Affleck, they actually had something on his suit that made his voice be kind of muffled intentionally. But this voice is just, he nailed the voice.
Yes.
And then
it's not overdone. It's not, you know.
No. And then the Batmobile, I love, again, it feels grounded. It feels like an old muscle car that he's amped up.
It looks kind of retro. I'm not a car expert, but I was thinking it looks a little more like a retro car, and I like that.
Like truly like an old muscle car.
Yes.
And that he's, you know, done some stuff with. And then I love the shot where he is like got the cables and he's going up. It looks through the Gotham City Police Department. And then I love when the guy says he's crazy, because I think that's what makes Batman Batman. Like, you don't jump in a bat suit and like jump off of buildings unless you're a little bit crazy. Like, yeah. Batman is a little bit crazy.
You gotta have a little crazy in there.
You do, and I hope they kind of lean into that, because that is what makes his villains so good, is the fact they're crazy. And a crazy villain, it puts you on edge because you don't know what they're going to do.
They're so unpredictable.
They're unpredictable. So I would love if Batman is a little crazy and you don't know what he's going to do. Like, make him kind of equally unpredictable in a way. But yeah, this movie, and then the bat symbol, and it's a phenomenal trailer. And then it ends, and as Natalie said, he does look a little emo at the end with this. He kind of looks like Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier right there, actually.
Emo's not dead, people. We've got proof right here in 2020.
It's not dead. But yeah, that trailer, it's phenomenal. At least to me, it was. I was pumped. I was excited. Like, I was saying to her right before we came up, so Nolan's trilogy, which has been my favorite, it was so rooted in reality. You know, the second one being filmed in Chicago, like, they truly went for a real life feel with the Batman movie. Where this one, to me, feels very still grounded and gritty, especially even like that fight scene, just very hand to hand. It's not CGI stuff or things like that. But yet there's touches of this, I feel like, of Tim Burton's Batman. And there's touches of it that it's just different. It's similar in good ways, but totally its own thing.
But a fresh take in other ways.
Yes, totally a fresh take. And I just think this movie, it just looks, I'm so excited. I love, it feels a little creepy, and it's coming out in October.
Oh, that's perfect.
It is going to be perfect. Like next October, like the big movie. And I'm already calling it, this movie's going to make $1 billion. Like it's Joker made $1 billion. This is $1 billion movie. Like it's going to happen.
Another thing I wanted to say from what we've seen thus far, it does very much appear that the Riddler is a serial killer type.
Yeah.
And I think that's very, I mean, I hate to say that's fun, but
it's interesting.
It's interesting. I think we, as a society, we do have quite an interest in serial killers. They scare us, but they fascinate us. And so I think that was a great way to work that into this movie.
Well, and I love
to generate more interest.
Definitely. Like I really wanted that. And they've given me everything I've wanted thus far as what I've been looking for out of this movie. I love you hear Paul Dano's voice, the Riddler's voice, say, "Will you turn a blind eye?" So I guess kind of from what I've captured in this movie, like say probably the person he's killed in the beginning, the Riddler is pretty much calling out that there's corruption within Gotham, within the politics, within probably even the police department, I would assume, because they're notoriously corrupt in Gotham. So he's kind of calling out, I think in a way maybe, like, what are you doing, Batman, that's different than me? I'm going after villains too, just kind of a different one. So he says, "Well, you turn a blind eye" in the trailer.
And that's kind of classic of Batman versus the villain in Batman films also, for him to challenge Batman's morals and, what he believes in and how are they different.
Yes, but...
which they definitely are. But.
Yes, and so I just think this looks like an amazing face-off. Oh, we also got a glimpse of Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and he looks unrecognizable. Like, they've clearly added kind of like weight to his face. I doubt he gained the weight. I think it's been added. Like, they've totally altered his face.
I mean,
Penguin.
He might have been that committed.
Yeah, he might be like, we just mentioned Christian Bale, who goes all the way for his roles. But yes, that looks interesting. I can't wait to see more of, we just heard Alfred, but we did not, Andy Serkis was playing Alfred. We didn't see him, so it'll be interesting to see him as Alfred.
Sweet Alfred.
Yes, and it'll be interesting to see more of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yes, excited for that.
Yes, and excited for the Penguin. It's been since 1992, the one with Penguin and Catwoman.
We watched that as kids.
Yeah.
I think Michelle would get a little frightened by the Penguin.
I mean, that was a creepy movie.
Yeah, Danny DeVito.
But
played him.
It was Danny DeVito. So it will be interesting to see them in a live-action Batman again, because it's been a long time since we've seen them in a live-action Batman, and I don't know, it just all looks interesting. And again, back to that hand-to-hand combat scene that we see, it's fast, it's realistic, there's a brutality to it. It kind of reminds me of...
He looks very angry.
He does.
You see that, like, it's beyond, like, there's clearly something he's going through. It's like, at first it starts out normal, but then as he keeps punching, it sort of implies to me there's, like, an anger built up for whatever reason inside.
Well, I'd say...
We'll see what's happening when we see the movie.
I'd say because of the murder of his parents. That's always I'd say we'll get for the gazillionth time, we'll see his parents probably die, sadly. But, so I'd say that's why, because this is only supposed to be like year 2 of him being in the suit. So he's probably just got a lot of anger he's still working through. But what I want to say is that scene, the fighting style reminds me kind of like Marvel's Daredevil, which is some of the favorite fighting scenes in any comic movie. Like, it was just so good in Daredevil. And that's what this reminds me of. So I'm super excited. But any other thoughts, Natalie? I think I've about said all I want to say.
Yeah, me too. I'm just excited to see more when they release maybe the full trailer. And so this October?
No. October 2021.
Okay.
And
we got to wait a while. But,
yes.
Maybe...
It'll be here before we know.
Yeah.
But anyways, last thing I want to say, this is what anyone who watches or listens to our podcast knows. I don't shy away from the fact that I am a DC fan more so than a Marvel fan. I like some of the Marvel stuff, but DC has a much stronger place in my heart, a much fonder love in my heart.
And if you've heard me also, I'd have to agree.
And I will just say that DC, they just killed it yesterday. They killed it all day long. And what I love about DC And again, I encourage you to watch our little kind of just reaction to the Wonder Woman trailer. But
it's awesome.
It is. And what makes D so incredible is you have Wonder Woman, which is so bright and colorful and happy and, yet still feels grounded. And then you get this dark, gritty Batman, all under the same umbrella in a way. And I just love that DC, like, they're willing to take chances. Like, it's not generic. Nothing has to be the same. And you see that when you look at the movies that they went through yesterday, the Suicide Squad. Like, nothing looks exactly the same. Where I feel sometimes Marvel movies can be a little more generic and similar.
Well, yeah, and obviously Batman, Wonder Woman, of course they are going to be big blockbuster films. I feel like that, like you said, they don't play it as safe as maybe their counterpart in Marvel, which is much more
generic.
Yeah, it's I don't want to be harsh. Well, that's the word I was going to use.
That's the word you'd have to use. It's more for the mass audience,
right? And like she said, I think DC they take more chances, but they're still big blockbusters.
Yeah, I mean, there's this like those two movies. I mean, I'm so excited for Wonder Woman, and then this movie, it just. Like I said, they're doing something, they've like breathed fresh air on Batman. Like it's a new take and it just looks exciting. It looks so good. I can't wait till next October. But in the meantime, this October, we're going to get Wonder Woman 1984. So we can, patiently wait by going to see Wonder Woman 1984, which I am also incredibly excited for.
Me too.
So anyways, guys, that's it. That's our thoughts on this Batman, the Batman teaser trailer that they released yesterday. I'm so excited for this movie. I just keep getting more excited for this movie. So, that's kind of our thoughts, and I'm sure soon, in fact, we're about to release our Jurassic Park discussion we had, so
doing
join
a throwback.
That. Yes, doing a throwback. We also have, for you DC fans, we have our Wonder Woman discussion, and also the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises discussion. So you can check those out. But anyways, thanks for joining us at Force of Light Entertainment. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a lot.
And leave us your thoughts below of what you think of the teaser trailer so far. What are you thinking about it? Do you like it? Or things you don't like about it? Just let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, share your thoughts below, and we will catch you all next time. All right,
guys.
See you guys.